Hey, everybody. I hope you can see this. I hope you are watching from out there. And I'm also watching a live version as well. So I was checking that out. Woo, I'm a hot mess today. You all, I had the pleasure of going and working at Nelson County High School today, talking about Google Sites. And so I taught in my first high school classroom today. It was so much fun. They weren't as scary as I thought they were going to be, which is exciting. Um, So we'll get started in a couple minutes. I'm going to give about 5 minutes. We'll start around 4:05, and then we will start with the exploration of Google Docs. I have to tell you that I actually learned quite a few things yesterday researching Google Docs, and so I am excited to share those with you. So we will get started here in just a second. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this shindig. I see we have a couple of viewers. That's so exciting. And I would actually like to go ahead, and this is just much more accessible. And from what I understand and what I've read, we will actually, this will also archive. So we can go back to it for training purposes and all that good stuff. So how this is going to work is I'm going to be doing a lot of screen sharing. And so you are not necessarily going to see my face, which is probably a good thing today after looking at this. But you are going to be seeing what I am working on. So there is an interactive feature on the right-hand side of your screen that allows you to chat throughout the YouTube video. And that's going to, I can actually print that out and have you like your chat out and time stamped and all that good stuff for your PD credit. So that's kind of the way that we're going to do the whole PD credit ordeal. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It is 4:05. So like I said, I'm just kind of keeping my fingers crossed. This is the first time I've used Hangouts on Air while it's been within YouTube. I've used Hangouts on Air before YouTube and Hangouts on Air became best friends. But like I said, this is first time. So hopefully this will be pretty flawless. We'll go through it pretty quickly. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I actually learned some things about docs last night as I was going through my hey, what's up? I'm on a Hangouts on Air. Okay. Sorry. So I'm probably gonna have to put a sign up. That's probably what's going to have to happen, or I'm going to have to go hide out somewhere. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started with this. But as I was saying, I learned some new things as I was exploring Google Docs last night, and I'm super excited to share those with you. All right, so let's check out. And check that out. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, sometimes I actually remember it doing this. So let's click stop and try that again. I remember it doing that. I just don't remember why. Look at it. Oh, it's like a tunnel. Present to everyone. Look, you can see it. I can tell that you can see it. Okay, so let's see if I go into, you guys are gonna have to hang on a second. So funny watching myself on another screen. It's lagged behind. So let's see if I'm screen sharing. Sweet, I am. Okay, so to get the notes for today, you are actually going to go to the NC extension. And when you go to the NC extension, it is going to pop up monthly meetups. So you will click on monthly meetups. And so that's where you can find what we're going to be looking at today. It's called Google Docs Exploration or Exploring Google Docs. I kind of interchange them, but this guy right here is what we're going to be looking at. And so let's go ahead and get inside of a Google Docs. And so I'm actually going to pull up our notes for today. You can tell that they're very basic, but by the end of the session, they will not be very basic because I'm going to teach you all about all this good stuff. You'll notice that there is a sign-in sheet. You can go ahead and click on that guy. It is a live link. It'll take you to a form, and you can sign in that way. If you do not know your employee number, then just put 0000 is what I usually tell people to put. I don't care how many zeros. It just means that you don't know your employee number to me. So, oh, fun. I see people joining. And look at you guys. This is so much fun. Okay, I'm such a nerd. You can do that now. You can do that later. Once again, it's just going to be another type of documentation, but if you are just joining, please join our chat. You can ask me questions here as I'm watching this. and also tell me who is here. That would be great. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to notice, and I'm going to talk about this here in just a second, but you're going to notice the table of contents. So Google Docs will actually put in a table of contents for you. And I wish I would have had this when I was in school, just throwing that out there. And so what we're going to do is I have basically gone through this whole menu guy up here, and I'm just going to highlight some of the features. Notice I said some. Some of this may be more advanced and some of this may be too basic for you, but I was trying to cover as much as possible that I could within the hour. And so we're going to start with File. And we're going to go to where it says version history. So I can, when I am using Google Docs, I can actually look at my version history. Now, I can also name the current version. So if it's a rough draft, I can name the current version rough draft. But if I click See Version History, over here, you're going to see whoever made edits. And you're also going to see a color coding. So if I click on the version last night, you can see where I worked on this. Yes, I was last minute. I worked on this last night and added, and notice that it is color coded to my name. However, if you have several students or several teachers working on the same document and all of a sudden something's missing, you can be like Big Brother with this version history, and you can go back and see who actually made the changes to who made the changes. And so anyways, just wanted to give you that opportunity. I actually used this today with the high schoolers that I was working with as they were being goofy and silly as they were all editing one document. And so, yes, that is one way to get to the version history. Now, you can also just go up here where it says last edit was made 3 minutes ago by Jamie Chenault. You can go up here and click on that, and it will take you to the version history too. So there's actually 2 different ways to get to that. The next thing I want to show you under File is I want to show you the download as. So you can download any of the Google apps as their Microsoft partner. So this could be downloaded as a Microsoft Word if whatever you're submitting doesn't like Google Docs for some reason. It can also be downloaded as a PDF. And you can also download it as a web page or a publication type thing, just depending on what you're doing. This is like old school word processing. But anyways, so just know that you do have the option to download it depending on what you would like. If you want it in a PDF, the links are still active in a PDF. You would just click download as a PDF. The next guy I want to show you is the publish to the web guy. And when you click publish to the web, you're going to get a choice of whether you want to link or embed. Normally, I just create a link and it'll say, are you sure you want to do this? And so you can see once it's published, this is its greatness of its web address. So if I come up here, open up a new tab, paste that link in, hit enter, you are going to see now my notes for this session, and it is basically a website. Why do this? A lot of people do this if they don't want other people changing things, or if they don't want to share within, or they want to make sure that everybody has access to it no matter what domain they're in. So it's not a very commonly used button, but just know that it is an option. If you want to look at the published contents and settings, you can see require reviewers to sign in with their Nelson County schools. So you can put that. You can also stop publishing if you choose to stop publishing this. And then it will automatically, as long as this box is checked, it will automatically republish when any changes are made, so it stays up to date. So I like that too, because instead of your teachers or your students making a copy of it, and then it becoming a stagnant copy of where it's not live anymore, this one will actually automatically make changes no matter what. So that is the publish to the web guy. So we're going to go back under file, and we're going to talk about page setup. So obviously you guys know that page setup is where you normally just hit portrait landscape, or you can change the margins. However, I love this little guy, so I can, and so do the kids, because how boring is a white page? At least it's boring for me. And so I like to change my page's colors and just make it a little bit more interesting for the kiddos or for whoever's looking at the document. And so I click OK, and now everything has turned to, you can see everything has turned to gray. Now, this right here, you'll notice that I have highlighting. I'm actually going to get rid of that highlighting because I don't like the highlighting. So, and I guess you guys will just see how this works. So to undo highlighting is under your A, and that's normally where you do your text color, but notice it says highlight, and I'm going to click where it says none. I don't know why it's highlighted stuff. I didn't even realize it highlighted stuff. I will say, well, last night when I was doing this, my cat was walking over my keyboard. Maybe he highlighted it. I don't know why it's not scrolling down either, but whatever. I'll make it. I'll make it. We're just going to keep clicking none all the way to the end. All right. So that is the file, and that's really all I'm going to talk about when it comes to file. Okay. There are some other options in there, but I figured most of you guys would know those options. But if you have any questions about any of these guys, just let me know. Okay, so let's go into, we're going to pass the edit. Once again, you know what these mean. And we're going to pass the edit and go to view. And I love this mode guy. Love the mode guy. So you can find this two different places. You can find it under view, like I am, but then you can also find it here. So I use this in the classroom a lot. And as principals, you could also use it in the classroom with the student or with the teacher's professional growth plan, because my favorite part is the whole suggesting thing. So let's say that I click suggesting. So now notice I'm in suggesting mode. And I'm going to suggest that this right here, page setup, be backspaced and replaced with talking about translation. Okay, so now you can see over here on my screen, replace page setup with translation, and notice it is a suggestion. And so then as an editor, the person that whoever doc it is, they can either accept the suggestion or reject the suggestion or reply to the suggestion like, what do you mean? Okay. And so, oh my goodness, I look over there and there's all kinds of good stuff. Sorry, sorry, now I'm really distracted. I just keep going and keep going. Okay, so if you don't have the NC extension, you can get it in the Chrome Web Store. So you just literally Google Chrome Web Store and get it in the Chrome Web Store. Sorry. So if I accept the suggestion, then it will change it. If I reject the suggestion, it will actually close out and reject the suggestion. So that's pretty cool that it doesn't actually go in and change it. because that kind of bothers me when people just go in and change my stuff. I was like that as a kid. So the viewing part, that will allow you to actually see what it's going to look like as it's printed. So you can see what it looks like when it's printed. That's all that is. You'll notice your tools go away up here and all that. But like I said, that suggesting part is huge, especially for editing and things like that. So I'm going to go back into the editing mode of our document. And so that's really the only thing under view that I wanted to talk about. So now we're going to talk about the insert, and you can see how many highlights I have with insert. So inserting an image, and I know you guys are like, oh my goodness, Jamie, I know how to insert an image, but I wanted to show you a couple of things. First of all, your kids can take a snapshot. Okay, the first time that they go to take a snapshot, they'll have to click allow, and then they'll have to click remember, and then they click close, and you can take a snapshot. Yay! And then you can insert it into your Google Doc. Okay, you can also insert images by their URL. So let's say I want to go to Google and I go to images and I look up dog. Okay, so and I'm just going to pick the very first one. And then I can 2-finger click or right click, depending on if you're using a Chromebook or a mouse. And where it says copy image address, so I'm not copying just the image, I'm copying the image address. I can click copy image address and then paste this here, and you can see it there, and then click select and have that. Also, if you have pictures in your Google Drive, you can insert from your drive. Notice share with me, team drives, anything like that that's been recent. So you can insert straight in there, or you can search straight Google and forget about all the URL junk. I click dog. Oh, look, there's a dog. Click select, and now I've inserted that image. Okay, so that is just a quick tutorial of inserting images in a doc. Next, we're going to talk about linking. So you can link anything. You can link words. So if you highlight the word image, and I usually hit Control K, that's why I put that there, Control K, and then I can link it to special headings. Notice that headings are these big guys right here. Okay, I can link it to the headings, or I can actually link it to a website. So images.google.com, and click apply. So now it changes colors. I can change it or I can remove it, either way. You can also link pictures or images. So if I go in and I am I go in and I insert an image, select, and it's going to be really big. I got to make it smaller. Y'all have to bear with me for a second. So I insert an image right here. I can Control K it, and same thing will pop up. Okay, maybe I'm doing research on golden retrievers or whatever it may be, but I can link pictures as well. Now, as the kids are first time using this, you just need to, like, what I normally do is I put like a shape or a target or some kind of way to tell them that it's an active link. So for right now, I'm just going to apply google.com to it. And then it is an active link within their doc. So just, and I mean, maybe I come up here and insert, I don't know, or you can just write active next to it. Just make sure that as they know that things are going to be active. So click picture, click on the dog, you know, whatever it may be. Some really cool uses in elementary with this is as the kids are learning their letters, like having pictures on a doc or on a slide, and linking, saying, click the pictures that are click the pictures that start with the D sound. And then the kids will click the pictures and that link will take them to congratulations or oops, try again. So you can actually create your own little guys that way. If you want more information, I don't mind to help you with that. All right, so the next guy, sorry, I get really excited about all this insert stuff. So the next guy obviously is for older kids, but it is equations. So you'll notice that all I did was I went to insert and went to equations. And I have this guy that has popped up. And it used to be that I would have to figure out how in the world my kids were going to show equations on a Google Doc. But now they don't have to because they're here, okay? So all of their lovely math operations, all their symbols, there's arrows, there are subscripts, everything like that will be in this area, okay? So in this new insert equation area. The next guy I want to talk about, so I'm going to get off of this. So to close out, I'm going to go over here. And so the next guy I'm going to talk about is the drawings. So drawings is, it's hard with Google Docs. If you want a lot of drawings, then you need to use Google Slides. I'm just going to say that up front. But drawings, you'll notice that it comes up with the backgrounds of transparency. I can change the background color. I just two-finger clicked or right-click and change the color of it. Here, I don't want to make it the same color as mine. That was silly. The same color. I like gray, as you can tell, especially when I'm doing design stuff. So, and then I can add shapes here, arrows here. This is great for mind mapping, anything like that. Kids, identifying shapes, what do quadrilaterals look like, building characters. They can do so many things in this. For right now, I'm just going to put a cute little heart. And then I click and notice, I mean, it has every tool that you can imagine. It has inserting pictures. It has inserting text boxes. It has border colors and border lines and everything like that. So I'm going to click Save and Close, and you'll notice that it now has inserted it where my tab was, so, or my ticker. So wherever your ticker is where your picture is going to go. So I'll say that one more time. Wherever your ticker mark is, this guy right here that's ticking, tick tock, wherever that is where your picture is going to go. I use this in a classroom a lot when the kids were inserting their math work into tables. And so tables that I had already created for them or that they had created. And so you can include drawings in this if you choose to do so. Inserting charts. So this is really like hot off the press, brand new. And this is because, and I'll tell you what's brand new about it. It's the fact that you can make charts from your Google Sheets, and they're live. And so you can actually link your charts, whatever type of chart it is, to whatever Google Sheet it can be found on. And when you change your Google Sheet, you click Update into your chart, and it will update your chart. So I'm trying to think, I probably should have thought this through a little bit better, but I'm thinking that I don't have anything with bar charts. Wait a minute. Yes, I do. I have one thing. Let's see if I can find it. It wasn't monthly meetups. Hang on. I may have, look, see, you're all like crying wolf over your little, yeah, that's me too. Let's go to Google certification level 1. Aha, here we go. So here's a chart. So I click this and I click link to spreadsheet, import. And so now I can import this. And when I actually go to that spreadsheet, like actually go to the Google Sheet over here in my drive, and make changes to the data, it will automatically update the chart that is on the sheet. Hang on just a second. It's loading. Give it a second. This is a little geeky. I'm not going to lie. This is a little geeky. But it will automatically update the chart that's in the sheet, and then you can go back to your doc, and right here where you see this link, you'll see the word update. Okay, so you can see here's where my chart is. Okay, so let's pretend I made changes to it, and so now I go over here and you'll see the word update. You click update and it will automatically change your chart for you. So that is new as of like maybe 2 weeks ago. I mean, when I say it's new, I mean like it's like brand new. And that will land wherever your ticker mark is as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I can click the link and open source so I can actually get to it from there as well. I should have done that the first time. Sorry. I'm still getting used to it as well. All right. So let me get rid of some of these tabs because tabs drive me nuts sometimes. Okay. So let's keep on moving. I'm going really fast. I know I am. But you guys aren't asking any questions. I'm looking. All right, you can ask me questions if you need to. All right, tables. So I'm still under insert. We've not moved very far. Tables. So obviously tables are wonderful. I'm going to show you some applications with them here in a minute. But tables, you can insert tables whatever size. You can merge cells. You can do lots of good stuff with tables. So I'm going to get out of that guide now. Go to the header and footer. Which is right here. So many of you guys ask me, how do you get something to reoccur on each page? So you literally click header, and when you are on the header, your ticker mark now can go all the way up in the margin, and anything you add to the header, is going to show up. Any links, anything is going to show up on every page. Oh, it's November. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, so now I have monthly meetups November 2017. Once again, monthly meetups November 2017. Once again, monthly. So anything I add to the very top of my page, what's something I did with this is if kids I knew were going to need resources from me, instead of them coming up and asking me, I made sure that they did 3 before me, and I may have active links with possible like frequently asked questions in these headers. And so no matter where they were on the doc, they could click on the link and get their frequently asked question answered. So I did use headers and footers. So the footer does the exact same thing. I'm not going to insert a footer, but it does the exact same thing at the bottom of the page. So that is how you can do that. You can insert images. You can insert anything you want to. Notice it says different first page header footer. And if you have a different one for the first page, since it's the first page, then you can click that and then it will look like that on every one of them. So that's, I mean, there's so many customizable tools. It's crazy. All right. So, we just went through footer and header. So now the table of contents. This is something I learned last night. Like I said, so wish it was around when I actually was going through school, but now I've got to figure out ways to use it and spread the love. So that is also under insert, maybe. Oh, it's not highlighted. Oh, wait a minute. Insert. There it is. Table of contents. So you get to choose, do you want it to have page numbers or do you not want it to have page numbers and you would rather just have it with links? I chose the one with links. So how I got things up here, you'll notice that these are active and I didn't do that. I did not do that. I promise you, I hit insert table of contents links. And the only thing I had to do was see this where it says the highlights of docs. Instead of it being normal text, I changed it up here to heading 1. And then file, instead of it being normal text, I changed it to heading 2. So anything that is a heading will show up on a table of contents. So when I click insert and click the link, there you go. It takes me straight to insert. I know, right? I wish I could see your all's reactions. Come on, say something. Be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. This is a little impersonal. But anyways, so that is how you get a table of contents. And you saw when I clicked in this, I can always update my table of contents to make sure that it is updated with all the headers that I'm supposed to have. So instead of searching and going through, how cool would this be with stories and writing? I can click, hey, table, take me to that heading, and there you go. It takes me to the table heading. Okay, so once again, pretty cool little feature that I learned last night that I even wish I would have known it when I was in my classroom. And it's been there. It's not a new thing as far as I know. All right, so the next guy we're going to talk about is format. And so obviously you have all of these guys and there's your scripts and all that good stuff. But one thing that a lot of people do not know about is this whole strike through thing. It was one of my favorite tools in the classroom. As kids were editing and doing things, I didn't use the suggestion box as much. But the kids really enjoyed, as they were editing their own, the strike through. So click strike through and it crosses it out. So instead of explore, use a different word. But anyway, so just something that's just like a little tidbit. Yay, tidbit. And then the next thing that I wanted to show you with the format is the capitalization. So a lot of people complain about capitalization in Chromebooks not having a caps locks. You can actually click uppercase and type uppercase. There is a shortcut for it, but I'm doing good to remember the shortcuts that I use. So you can click where it's uppercase. I'm just curious, and I'm going to be curious right in front of you all if this will change it to uppercase. Yep. How wonderful is that? So, so you just saw that. If I meant to capitalize that, I mean, I don't know how many times I've backspaced and then just held down the shift key and typed everything I needed capitalized when I could have gone up to format and capitalized that. Anyways, very cool way to use the capitalization type thing. And title. Did you see that? It had title. So if your kids aren't capitalizing their title, then you could highlight it and then I bet hit title case. Oh, that's genius. Okay. So this is probably one of my favorite tools. I've got to get rid of this. I wonder if I get rid of this, it'll stop. Surely not. I hope everybody can still see me. Maybe not. Oh, you guys are like way far behind me. Okay. So, the Explore button. A lot of people do not know about the Explore button, and every kid should know about the Explore button. The Explore button is over here. And anytime you see this little sparkle guy, he sparkles because he's fabulous is what it is. So I'm going to click the Explore button, and it is a one-stop shop. It's wonderful for information. So let's say that I'm doing research on Abraham Lincoln, and I click Abraham Lincoln. Notice it has the web for me. It has images for me that I can insert, and it has anytime I've mentioned Abraham Lincoln or anything that has mentioned Abraham Lincoln in my drive, it has that as well, and I can insert that. So it is a game changer. Now, once you click on these, it will take you to Google. It will take you to Google. Like the results or the web page will not pop up in this little screen over here. But let's say we use some information from one of these websites. Do you see these great little quotation marks? You see these great little quotation marks? Can we say college class, please? So it actually does citations for you. Click. Notice, let's pretend I got citations from this website. It puts my little number, and then at the bottom, it's done for me. Like, really? Like, so many times that daggone MLA and APA format. I just can't. I can't even tell you how exciting that is. Now, if you're like, but we don't know which version it is, right? We don't know which version it is. look right here. You can choose which version you want it to be. So, I mean, how huge is that for our college kids? I mean, this is our day. I didn't memorize this. I so didn't memorize this. And I shouldn't have memorized it. I mean, I've got too many other great things to memorize. So use these tools. And now the Explore button with these search results only show up in Google Docs. So just keep that in mind, that they only show up in Google, okay, in the Google Docs. So you can, like I said, I'm gonna show you once again because it's just that cool. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna delete this. Hang on. So when I delete it, notice it went away, right? So let's pretend I got some information here and I typed in my information. I click the quotation marks. It puts my greatness there and it cites it for me. I know, so cool. Okay, so I will stop doing that because I get really excited about that. All right, so let's keep going through tools. So the next guy, tools, you can also find Explore here as well. So if you did not see it here, you can find it under tools as well. So define. So I really like the word define, what I can do with define. So let's say I want to define dictionary. So what that is it's literally a dictionary that will pop up. And it will tell you what it means, and it'll tell you synonyms for it. And so pretty cool. What type, is it, what type of, oh my goodness, part of speech it is. I had to think about that. It's been a while. And so anyways, so it has a built-in dictionary to it. A lot of kids don't know that. And they're still going to like Webster, wherever, Wikipedia, wherever to get there. But all they have to do is right here. It's right here. Put it in their own words and they're done. So, and let them use their resources. Lord knows. I mean, there are times to use resources, I understand, and times not to let them use their resources. But now in today's age, it's important to let them use their resources. So next is voice typing. This is big with anything. So the kids can actually voice type from a Chromebook. It has to have a microphone. You go under tools, you click voice type, a microphone is going to pop up. I'm going to voice type. I click to speak. This Google Hangout on Air is going really well, period. I may have to try this again. Exclamation point, new line. So you can see how to use this. Sorry, I didn't stop. I didn't click it where I was supposed to be clicking. But you can see how the kids could definitely use this, and it's great with punctuation. Like it forces them to put punctuation and the correct punctuation because they're having to say it. This would be great for littles. It would also be great for those special ed kids. It would also be great for really any kid who has trouble typing and staying caught up with the rest of the class. I gave my kids about a month where I didn't introduce voice typing to them. And then as I noticed those that were falling behind because of not being able to type quick enough, we did use voice typing when we were going to be typing quite a bit. Now, voice typing happens in Google Docs only. There is a way to do voice typing in Google Slides, but that will be in the Google Slides presentation, monthly meeting, I should say. All right, so the next guy, if you've been around me very long, you know I really like Google Keep. So normally, Google Keep lives in your waffle, and I actually talked to Holly about this Google Keep yesterday. So Google Keep lives in your waffle up here, and you're like, how did you get to that? You go so quick. I just clicked more, and Google Keep are their digital Post-it notes, and you're going to see mine, and it's a hot mess, so don't look too closely because I tried to keep up with the whole labels thing, but when I'm on the go, Google Keep is also an app. Just throwing that out there. and it's collaborative. So yeah, you can see my Google Keep is not the cleanest. However, they actually integrated Google Keep with Docs. And so under tools, you'll see where it says Keep Notepad. And every one of your Google Keep notes will pop up here. I know, right? How cool is that? So let's say I would like to, I'm going to go to the 3 dots over here, my menu, and I'm going to add this to the document. Okay, so I click add to document. I don't want to add that one because it's so long. It may take forever. Look, I'll use Miss Miles in her little passion projects. Add to document. So there you go. It's added to my document. And so you can move from Google Keep to Google Docs, but look at this. Let's say I want to create a keep out of everything that I'm talking to you all about today. Let's pretend this was everything I was talking to you about today. I can 2-finger click, save to Keep Notepad, and there it is. And not only is it here, but it should be, let it refresh. There it is. There it is. And it says Google Docs export. And so, or exploration. So I know, right? That's so much fun. My kids kept their rubrics on Google Keep, or kept their expectations on Google Keep, and would just pull them up on the side as they were working. It does integrate with Google Slides as well. So just keep that in mind. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this guy because I don't want it to mess up our notes, the people that watch it after this. Personal dictionary. So this is something that I discovered last night, and it's under tools, and you click personal dictionary. So you can see I added the word excellent. How cool would this be? Not just for obviously a dictionary to tell me meaning of words, but like for a spelling list or commonly missed words, or if a kid keeps asking you how to spell something, you say, well, I'll spell it, or you research it, because I didn't spell anything for my kids. I either let them spell it wrong, or they had to Google it, or they had to wait until the squiggly line showed up, kind of thing, and 2-finger clicked and then changed it to the word that they need. But like if I want to add the word implementation, I click add, and now I'm going to click save. Now that is in my personal dictionary. Okay, so I can go back under tools, personal dictionary, and no matter what doc I'm in, that is there. That is there, like the spelling of it. Like, that's genius. So, however, you do have to add your own, like I couldn't share with my class unless you just copied and pasted. I didn't think about that. You could copy and paste a whole bunch of words, like commonly misspelled, 4th grade commonly misspelled words, copied and pasted that, and then into that personal dictionary. I don't know about that. That's something that you guys can try out and let me know. Okay, so that is the personal dictionary. Okay. All right, so table. So I already kind of went through this earlier when we said insert table. It's the exact same thing. They just have it, once again, 2 different places. But you can see when you insert a table, I'm not going to insert a table, but when you insert a table, you can merge cells, you can change the table properties, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go on quickly to add-ons. So a lot of people do not use add-ons because they don't even really know what they are. So let me tell you what an add-on is. An add-on is actually, it makes your experience in Google Docs more efficient in some way, okay? So, and this is where you get add-ons. You don't have to go to the Chrome Web Store to get like extensions or apps. Nope, it's with each Google app has their own specific add-ons. So if you want to get some of these add-ons, you just literally go to get add-ons, and it brings up something that is very similar to this guy right here, which looks like the store, right? The Chrome Web Store. But you say, hey, I want it. They're all free. I should have said that. They're all free. Say I want it free, and you got to do all the allowing settings like you normally do. Say, yep, this is my account. And it is my understanding that kids can add add-ons without having, I just don't know if they know about them, kind of thing. But they can, without you having to put in a help desk ticket or anything like that. So now when I go under add-ons, you'll see the one that I just added is there, and it's right here, and it pops up within your doc screen. So some of my favorite ones that I was going to, and I'll talk about this one because I can kind of see who's here, but oh my goodness, these are amazing. I mean, all of these are great. So I'm going to click Doc to Form. So many times we create our test in Google Docs, or we have them in a Word document. I went through this whole process. We have them in a Word document, so I uploaded it and transitioned it to a Google Doc, and then I needed it in a form. So there is an add-on called Doc to Form. And you literally, it looks like this. You add it just like I showed you. Get add-ons, doc to form, and you create a form from this doc. So like if I wanted to, here's the instructions. I wanted to collect the username. I wanted to ask for a teacher name. You can choose whatever. Here's question 1. So I come over here and I say, I'm just going to select all this right here. Okay. And I say, I want it to use selected text. So here is, now you would have to go in and make this a little bit prettier. But then what type do I want it? Do I want it where they type in text for an answer, where it's paragraph form, where it's multiple choice, where it's check boxes, where it's choose from a list? Well, let's say I want it multiple choice. So maybe my question is, what are these examples of? Are they examples of tools? And then I have to do a semicolon. Are they examples of a table? Semicolon. Are they example of add-ons? Semicolon. And one more. Are they example of format? Okay. And then I can keep adding questions after questions after questions after question. Create form. And watch this, you all. It's so cool. So it says, do you want to view form or do you want to create another form? Well, I want to view the form. And here you go. What is your name? It's automatically going to collect. Here's the question. Here's the question, right? And the question's yucky. But here are your choices that what are these examples of? And so I know, right? How cool is that? Oh, you're so funny, Holly. Okay, so I am watching. I promise I'm watching your little chats over here. And I can see who's in the doc and stuff. So that is just one of the add-ons that I use quite a bit, is that doc to form add-on. Some of these other ones I don't mind to show you, but I don't want to go through all of them just because of time purposes, because I want to get to the implementation ideas. I may have a whole session on add-ons. I know, wouldn't that be, that would be intense. Okay, so let's move on to implementation ideas. I'm gonna get rid of this guy too. So I need for you to just have an open mind for a couple minutes. So one-stop shop collection, okay? And I've made a link here. And I want you to go ahead and click that link, and hopefully I've made it where anybody can view. But this is very similar to what I was doing today at Nelson County, okay? So what this is these are the students, and I just inserted a table using docs. These are the students, and they have linked their work for me in this one spot. Now you're like, Jamie, how come you didn't just assign it to them in Google Classroom and they just put it in their Google Classroom? Well, you'll notice that they've linked Google Sites to this. And I mean, they can turn in a link, but it's not the easiest thing. So as a teacher, what I absolutely love is that this is like the one-stop shop. Now, as a principal, you think about this as you can make a Google Doc, make it landscape, put all your teachers' names, put lesson plans, November lesson plans or Unit 1 lesson plan or whatever you teach, and make them put their links instead of them emailing them to you or inserting them in a folder or whatever it may be. So they could do that with their with the weekly lesson plans or whatever they have you guys doing. but once again, just a one-stop shop. I use that all the time. Writing collaboration. So I know that you guys in the past have played, okay, so I'm going to say a word and we're going to go around the car. In the car, it was always a car travel game for me. Go around in the car, and we are going to add on a word. Each person's going to add on a word, and we're just going to make silly things. So I actually had my kids do that. They would share the doc with each other, or I would share it with them through Google Classroom, and they would do sentence by sentence. And I didn't like giving them something to write about, because I liked them to have that choice. But Scholastic has amazing writing prompts, and they're so much fun. I'll have to show you this one. So this is just one of the one that they have. And notice it goes up to 8th grade, but high schoolers could so do this. So you just type in your first name, and let's say I'm 4th, 5th grader. I know, listen to it. How fun is this? I click spin. So they would do this before they started their writing collaboration. So describe the adventures of a tiny battery that glows in the dark. And so that's what they would do. Now, if they didn't like something, they could spin a wheel, but I actually like this one. They could spin a wheel. They can actually write in here if you want them to. But that's not using Google Docs, so I'm not going to go into that. But that is a choice in here. So like I said, Scholastic has all kinds of those. That one is just the Innovation Machine game writing prompts. The next guy, obviously using Google Docs for feedback. And anytime that you click and highlight something, this little bubble over here is going to show up. Or if you noticed here, the same bubble is here, but I can click on this and add a comment. And you're like, Jamie, I already knew that. However, if there are multiple kids working in the same document, did you know that you can actually assign certain people, assign certain things to certain people? And yeah, that's what, Michelle, I hope I spelled your name right. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. Oh, here we go, schools.us. All right, and I'm going to assign, can you add to this? And I'm just pretending, Michelle, I just picked you because you were here. So assign this to Michelle. Now she gets a notification that she has a comment. And notice like this, anyone at Nelson County Schools with a link can comment. So I share, click comment, and notice how it's highlighted and it says assigned to Michelle Kell. And so you can see that is really cool, and she can click resolve when she finishes it. So anyways, you can click resolve if you want to, Michelle. But that's just something that's, that a lot of people do not know, that you can hit that plus sign, and you can assign it to multiple people. You just have to put the plus sign and put in their email address, their school email address. The next guy I'm not going to talk a ton about, because this is a whole nother session. This could be a whole nother hour, and I told you guys you were going to be out of here in 4 minutes. But hyperdocs are huge. Hyperdocs are huge, and they can be done within Docs or within almost any of the Google apps. And I've put an example of one here, but I wanted to go straight to the website, because the website has templates for you. So you can click where it says templates, and you can see the different templates. It's all Google based. It has where you see teachers give teachers. There are hyperdocs for people, for almost, it just seems like everything, which of course I say that now, and you'll look for one and you won't be able to find one, but you can search for keywords. Let's see if there's one for To Kill a Mockingbird. Search. So what a hyperdoc is, maybe I didn't spell that right. Did I spell that right? Mockingbird. Got to do a whole, no, I'm just kidding. Whole twang kind of thing. Yeah, see, I told you. As soon as I show you, maybe I don't know, multiplication. They just, the authors of this just started this Teachers Give. Okay, multiplication, grade 3. So I click on it, and it will take you to your HyperDoc, which you'll need to make a copy of it. But they're already made for you. They're like lessons that are Google-fied and are student self-paced, and they're fabulous. So you'll just need to look through. This is one way to get to them, which is the Teachers Give Teachers, but also under this samples, they've done some things to it. Under the samples, hang on, it's coming. Here are all the different content areas. You can click your content area. It's going to take you to a Google Drive with, it seems like, thousands of them. You can get lost in it in a black hole. Like, this is Christmas break. Christmas break, you know, I'm going to look through this kind of thing. So a HyperDoc basically is student paced. It can be done in groups just depending on the HyperDoc, but use that website, check them out. You'll understand exactly what they are. Reflection and communication. So I use a table for reflection and communication. I did link it here. You're more than welcome to make a copy of it. But what I did is I had kids to answer the question in the white. So a kid would answer the question in the white, and then I would come up, or another classmate would come and answer in the yellow. So we use this as a reflection. So let's say, I'll just use my son's name. So let's say Micah was replying to this. I plan to implement what tool tomorrow to teach. I plan to implement Google Earth Engine to teach brochures. And Micah comes in and says, how do you plan to do that, right? And he types that in. And then he says, well, here's my one struggle, that my kids may have never seen a brochure. And then Micah comes in and says, ooh, I know where there are some online brochures, and he makes a link there. And so the kids can use this as a communication tool. Notice that each one of these are separate. So you have a white and you have a yellow, and you have one kid answering and one kid responding, one kid answering and one kid responding, one kid answering and one kid responding. And you can do what you want to with that and how you use it, but it's more than just a table. It becomes more of a collaboration tool in Doc. So we are at 5 o'clock. It will take me literally probably 2 minutes to get through this. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you these, because notice there's only one link here, and I want you to kind of see this link. So more fonts. Let's say I was working, and I'm going to call Jeremy Hill out, but I was working with him yesterday, and he had like no fonts. I'm like, dude, how come you don't have any fonts? Look how many fonts I have. So know that you can get more fonts here, okay? It takes you to like the font store. And it's fabulous. I love fonts. I mean, kids love fonts. So just know that you can get more fonts. The folder icon up here, if you click that, it will show you where your thing is, like where your doc is, whatever you have. You can go straight to open that folder in a new tab. You can go back and move it from here. So just know that this icon is up here for you all, for your use. And then to star it, that's another thing. You can star it, and when you star it, it automatically puts it in your starred drive. So you can see it right here. And so it'll automatically, so if there are some things that you use very, very often, you can not only just star folders, but you can star specific things like this. Okay, so the last guy I wanted to show you was this G Suite training extension. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I have this circle up here that is a very colorful circle. So this is where you get the colorful circle, but every time you open up a Google app, this colorful circle is going to be there, and you can search how to blah, 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 and your answers will come up. Yes, like this is your own little like dictionary how-to tutorial for Google Docs, because we're in Google Docs, but it also has it in Google Slides and Google Sheets and Google Drawings and blah, 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 blah. Like you can keep going and keep going. So you can see it says Introduction to Docs Home Screen. Okay, so here's what it is. here's a video on how to find your files. Do you know how wonderful this is with you know how wonderful this is with your kids? Like, your kids need these. Like, so you don't have to make them. Like, I started making them and then found this extension and was like, oh my goodness, I just wasted all my time. Now, does it have everything? It has pretty close to everything. So just know that is there. And it's videos, and the kids love videos, and it'll show you, hey, I know this, so you can differentiate it. If you don't need this video, then click I know this and be done with it. If you want to share it out, you can share it out. So pretty cool little feature extension that your kids can also get a hold of as well. With extensions right now, you do have to put in a help desk ticket, but that is going to soon change. Woohoo! So, all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to, it's like we're in the tunnel. I am going to stop screen sharing. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to stop screen sharing, and I hope that you have found this useful. Remember, I did see, if you weren't able to comment for some reason, I did see who was in the dock and working in the dock, and their ticker was moving. So I will make sure that you get your hour of credit if you need it. Now, if you don't need it and you were just sitting in because you're just a wonderful, lovely person that wanted to know more about Google Docs and what to do with Google Docs, then that's fine too. You don't have to click the sign-in sheet, but please go ahead, and I'll probably leave the sign-in sheet open through around 8 o'clock tonight and then turn it off. So if you have not signed in, the sign-in sheet was at the top of that doc, and that doc I found under the NC extension. So I would love to hear how you guys feel about this whole Google thing being digital instead of you having to come to central office. I know it's a little bit different because I'm not able to see you and see your faces. But if you have any questions, please let me know. You can email me as always, and I will get back to you. I hope you guys have loved and learned something about exploring Google Docs. We'll talk to you guys soon.